Just me and my 7 beverages here. Hang on.
You can never have too many beverages.
No, I'm taking that too. Awesome. Good morning, everybody.
Awesome. Well, welcome.
Yes.
Thanks for being here with us this weekend. I mean, I know we're just getting started, but how's it been for you downstairs so far?
It's been good. We've been vibing. We've been thriving. I'm caffeinated, if you cannot tell. So we're having a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely caffeine is very essential. What's your go-to order at Starbucks?
So normally, like if I'm at cons, like, and this is my second coffee today already.
Okay.
But I usually get the brown sugar oat milk cortados.
Ooh, cortado's my favorite.
They're so good. So that's usually whenever I'm traveling, that's what I'm getting. And then I got something like, because it's pumpkin season, I wanted a little extra treat. So
it is pumpkin season.
Yeah.
Is everybody on the pumpkin train? We're down with that. I like pumpkin spice. They have a pumpkin spice chai.
That's my favorite. So listen. So I really desperately wanted that one today, but I was like, I should get something warm for my voice because I'm gonna be talking all day. But let me tell you, like if I could just have had anything, it would have been that one.
Maybe you can end the night with a pumpkin spice chai.
Maybe.
There you go. Well, we're already talking about your voice. You came in here with a bunch of liquids and different drinks. How important is it to stay hydrated when it comes to being a voice actor?
Extremely, like especially like with traveling for cons and stuff, because like the plane dries you out, the hotel rooms dry you out. If you're allergic to everything like I am, the trees dry you out.
Oh, you have allergies too?
Yes, yeah. So like I'm allergic to like almost every tree and grass.
Ooh, what about pets? Are you
pets?
allergic?
I'm not allergic to pets.
Lucky?
Yes, but I found out only a couple months ago that I'm actually allergic to eggs and soy, which I've been eating every day for years.
And no wonder we've been having stomach problems.
Literally. So it was very, very heartbreaking. So what's interesting is like, I'm not allergic to the yolk of the egg, just the egg white. So
That's
I can have the yolk. Yeah, right? Normally it's the other way where it's like, oh, I can't have yolk. But no, so I get to have the fun part of the egg.
What's the science behind that? Like what's in the white of the egg?
Dude, I have no idea. It's like maybe like some probably some enzyme or something. I'm not a science person.
Yeah, neither am I. But I love eggs. I love me some
too,
eggs.
And they're my favorite. So like I'm like vegetarian, so guess what I was eating like every day? Eggs and tofu and like the soy's in everything. It's in soy sauce, obviously. Edamame, it's in tofu, it's in most protein bars, like it's everywhere.
You can't eat edamame?
I can't have edamame anymore.
They're so good.
I know. I loved all these
not
things.
Fair.
I can't have tofu anymore. Most like I have to be careful of like any like veggie burger type stuff, like Impossible meat or whatever. There's like one that I can have, one I can't have. So I have to be like, which one is a soy based or not? But I was having like tons of digestive issues for years, and I didn't know why. And then I cut all of it out. When very sadly, I cut eggs and soy out, and now I'm fine.
Right.
So that's great. We're good. We love to be fine. But everybody go get a prick test because I didn't know I was allergic, and it's been many years. I'm like, I wish I would have known that. I've also stopped getting sick as much because your immune system is like fighting, when you have an allergic reaction, it activates your immune system. So then
it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, so it's like weakened for when other stuff comes along. So I was getting sick all the time too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
What was it like having to make the pivot from like the foods that you really love and enjoy, and how did you find some like alternates and stuff?
It sucks.
Obviously it sucks. Yeah, for sure.
It's what I've been doing is because like I do like even like again vegetarian, but like I do let myself like eat sushi every now and then. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot more sushi nights, which when I can.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to incorporate like a little more seafood, so like more pescatarian, because like what's interesting is like one of the reasons why like I wasn't eating meat is because it would make me really sick. And now I'm like, was it because the animals were eating like soy, like grain and stuff like that,
right.
or like literally, because it can do that. So I'm just like, dude, I don't know, it's crazy. Everybody go get allergy tests.
Yes, we are advocating for that for all of you. Please go do it. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy to have you here. I think we met. When was it? Like in Miami or something?
It wasn't that long ago.
No, I believe it may have even been this year.
Who can say?
But now we get to have a one-on-one, which is fantastic.
Awesome.
And you have been voice acting for what, 18 years now?
Yeah, I think I'm doing math. I'm really bad at math. Yeah, like I started in 2007. So
whatever that math
is.
Someone do it really quickly in your head.
But it's like 18, 19 years or something.
But what I think is so cool about your voice acting journey is that like you didn't wait for someone to tell you how to do it, where to do it. You like Googled it at like what, 14, 15?
Yes,
and like try to find out how to. So let's talk about that, like your journey in the voice acting, like what made you want to do it?
Yeah, I mean, so I wanted to be Laura Croft.
Oh, from Tomb Raider.
I don't know if I told you this last time, but I want to be Lara
no.
Croft from Tomb Raider. Yeah, that's not a real profession. Spoiler alert. Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, if I can't like raid tombs and shoot dinosaurs IRL, like maybe I could like voice a character who raids tombs and shoots dinosaurs. So I was like, oh, well, like I love cartoons, I loved anime, I loved video games. Like even before I knew what anime was, and I was like, oh, well, like maybe can I just do that? Somebody's going to be doing that job. Like I want to do that. Yeah. So I sat down and Googled it.
And was it the film or the video game of Tomb Raider that you fell in love with first?
Oh, it was the OG video game Tomb Raider. I love Lara Croft, but then again, Angelina Jolie is a goddess, so I love the movie too. Like it was awesome. Yeah.
And your mom was a big gamer too, right? Like that's who got you into like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and stuff like that. Let's talk about your memories of like growing up, having like a gamer mom. What was that like?
Yeah, it was really cool. Like she got me a Super Nintendo when I was really little, so I was playing all the Mario games and like Donkey Kongs and also Mortal Kombat. Way too young, so I loved fighting games.
Yeah. Did you spend a lot of time in like actual arcades as a kid?
Not in actual arcades, but my mom, when she was younger, she would skip lunch and save her lunch money to go to the arcade to like
That's
play.
amazing. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. So she's good at them. She still plays like the Silent Hills when they come out and everything. Those are her favorites. So
well, we have some of the voice actors from Resident Evil here
I
this
know.
week. Did you tell her already?
I haven't told her, but I'm gonna be like, hey, look who it is. Whispers, but yeah, she's gonna be stoked.
That's so cool. I mean, you get to travel and meet a lot of cool people. Do you have any like fandom or people that you've met that you grew up listening to in voice or on TV, video games?
Oh, absolutely. I've gotten to do a lot of shows with Grey Delisle, who is
I met her last weekend. She's so phenomenal.
She's not only is she like so sweet, she's like so unbelievably talented.
I know.
I love all of her work, whether it be like Fairly Odd Parents or like Azula and like Avatar and stuff. She's just amazing.
And also singing. She's
so
stand-up comic. She does it all.
Yeah, she literally does it all. Like, and is like so fashionable. I'm like, girl, how do you do this?
She came to the panel last week in full cosplay as Azula.
I love it.
I love the commitment.
Yes,
it's so awesome.
So her, and then I got to meet I don't know if it was last year, like who knows anymore, right? But I got to meet James Arnold Taylor, who voices Titus in Final Fantasy X. Again, incredibly kind, unbelievably talented, and like I love Final Fantasy, and I'm just like, it's so good.
He's also what, Obi-Wan in
Star
Wars?
He's Obi-Wan, yeah, which is really cool.
I mean, he does everything.
He's literally everywhere. Yeah, he was a lot of the Fox promos and stuff for like the TV back in the day before streaming ate everything.
And you took voice classes with Richard Horvitz. Is that true?
I did,
like 8 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, something like you got like you're crazy educated on this.
It's
That's
kind
awesome.
of my job.
You're really good at your job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So like I took my first voiceover class ever was with Richard Horvitz, and I had already been acting for over 10 years. I just again being from Ohio, there wasn't much there. So like when I moved to Texas, and like Richard was doing a class at Okratron, which Okratron dubs Dragon Ball Z and stuff.
Right.
So like I was like, oh, this is like local, and like I can take this class, and it was really fun. I think Damon Mills was in that first class with me. Maybe Dawn M. Bennett was there too. So a lot of people who are like working now, like were in that class. It was my first class. It wasn't their first class. But
very cool. And have you continued your education from that point? I mean, I know it's very important to stay educated, to continue learning and growing. Have you continued taking classes after your class with Richard?
Yeah, absolutely. I literally just signed up for a class like in December, like with the I think his name is Timothy. He worked on Hell of a Boss, and I'm just
cool.
like I want to like practice and stuff like that. But like I took like a bunch of classes and coaching. I take singing lessons twice a week, and then I also did like Meisner on camera training for like 2.5 years.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How important is continued education, especially when you're already well versed or even been in the industry for 18 years?
Yeah, I think it's really important, and like it's mainly to keep you fresh, right? Because like I think the worst thing anybody can do is to like rest on their laurels and like feel like, well, I've like made it, whatever that means, and then just like, oh, I don't need to like put as much into my auditions or like when you go into the booth and stuff. But like it's just you're never done learning or growing with anything you're doing, right?
Of course.
So it's really nice because all luck is opportunity meeting preparedness.
I agree.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
If you're prepared and you get that opportunity, that's when luck can manifest and be like, here you go. Like you booked this part because you were ready and you had the right skill set at the right time.
Yeah, that's one of the main like lessons that I learned when I went to acting school. Was like, if you fail to prepare to fail.
Literally, yeah. Yes. It's just like, no, you want to be ready. You want to be like good to go. And it's interesting because like aside from classes, it also like is kind of like taking care of yourself too, right? Because again, going back to the hydration and stuff like that, like what if you like blew your voice out like at a concert or like drinking or whatever like the night before, and then the next day you get like this really important audition that's like your dream gig, and you're all like, you know, messed up and like can't perform your best, and then, you know, you miss out because you can't do it. So it's just, you have to be like, you know, really careful.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely have to be like your best advocate for your own well-being, your own self-care, and also, you know, speaking up for yourself in not only auditions but in sessions.
Totally.
If they're having you do some really strenuous session, you have to be like, I can't do this for this amount of time. You have to be like, can we break it up?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
You mentioned a moment ago, you know, you did Richard's class and you had already been voice acting for 10 years at the time, and you've also previously mentioned that you were voice acting for 10 years before anyone even knew who you were.
Yes.
What was that period of time like, that whole 10 years before you finally like made it, so to speak? Did you have any moments of doubt or any things like maybe I should switch careers, or what was that like during that 10-year period?
Yeah, this is a great question. So like for me, like, and I guess a lot of it probably goes back to my mom, because my mom always encouraged me to pursue my dreams, like whatever they are. And she didn't push me to go to college or anything like that. She's like, you know, whatever you want to do, first of all, you can do anything you want to do. And then also like whatever you want to do, I support you. So I decided like, this is what I want to do. And I am very much an Aries and very stubborn, and I will not give up. And I see like, you know, failure is all just a learning experience. You can never truly fail unless you give up or you don't try. So I was like, eventually I'll get there. And like my, it was never my dream to like, you know, like be famous or like live in a mansion or anything. I just wanted to be able to do what I love and like, you know, like support myself.
Yeah.
So that's all I ever wanted. And I'm so happy to be able to do that. And like, you know, it took a really, really long time, lots of like, you know, sacrifices and lots and lots and lots of hard work and tons of rejection, tons of rejection. But you know, it's just what I wanted to do. So
yeah, well, I mean, you definitely put the work in to get where you are now. I know you're from Ohio originally, but you used to actually drive to New York to go to like auditions. And let's talk about that, like what it takes to really make it. If you want to make it, you got to put in the work.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I feel like whether it be like with this or with something else, and I'm not telling anybody to like let themselves get taken advantage of. That's not what I'm saying. But there has to be like kind of this willingness to like delay gratification and like a lot of times like building like bridges and like building like your reputation and stuff. So like when I was driving to New York, I didn't even have my own car. Like I had just gotten my license. I didn't get my license until I was like in my 20s, right?
Were you driving up alone or with mom?
I drove, my best friend drove with me, and I had to borrow my grandmother's car because I didn't have a car. So like I was like, I'm gonna borrow it, I'm gonna drive there, I'm gonna do the job, we're gonna drive back. Like, you know.
Grandma. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, for real. So like just whatever I had to do to make it happen. And like obviously like, you know, taking that trip and like driving from Ohio to New York and like having to stay the night in New York and then drive back, like I wasn't gonna make any money off of that. But like I wanted the experience, I wanted the credit, like I wanted to like, you know, whatever had to happen. And that was like true for even like when I moved to Texas and I was doing stuff, like I lived in Dallas and I was doing stuff at Funimation and like Okra when stuff would come up. But you know, Sentai's in Houston. So I was like, well, I'll get up at the crack of dawn to be in Houston for a 9 a.m. session and then work all day and then drive home. Yeah. Like, and almost fell asleep at the wheel a few times. So like, I don't condone that, but like, you know, I was like, I'm going to do whatever has to happen. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what it takes.
Yeah.
If you really want to make it. You know, I'm from New York originally. Yeah. When you started going to New York for the first time, had you been there before?
Never.
So what are some of your favorite memories of those times you and your best friend hitting up New York for the very first time?
So it was the middle of winter. It was the middle of winter and like blizzard. I had like found like this little hotel. We were trying to find parking. It was like I had a really early morning session the next day, and it was just like I'm just like, where am I? This looks like a hotel out of The Shining. Like, what is going on? But it was fun, but I was just exhausted. I had oh my gosh, so this was my first ever anime job, and it was my first time ever recording in a studio, and I was driving from Ohio for it.
Oh, this was actually your first job you went there for?
My first job I ever went there for was this time, and on the way there, we stopped at a rest stop, and I left my purse in the bathroom. I'm not even kidding.
Oh my God.
So I had literally my cell phone in my hand, but I left my purse with all of my, like my wallet, all my, like everything in there. And I was like, oh my God, like, you know, we have to turn around. And we'd already been driving for like 45 minutes. Past this rest stop. And I was like Googling, like I was like trying to like on my phone, trying to like find the phone number to the rest stop. So I found the phone number. I called them, like, nothing's in here. Nothing's in the bathroom. And I'm like, we're just going to go. So, like, for anybody who's like familiar with a female restroom, there's usually multiple hooks. So there's like a hook on the side, and sometimes there's a hook on the back of the door. So my purse was on the back of the door hook, so they didn't see it when they went into the stall, but I did in fact find it.
Thank goodness.
But I was like, I'm gonna have a panic attack. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, you know, like I can't pay for the hotel if I don't have like my stuff. It was very stressful.
And I mean, this was a different time back then. Not saying that cell phones didn't necessarily exist, but I mean, like, social media didn't exist.
Dude, totally.
It's so hard to get in touch with anyone.
No, I know. Like, it's crazy.
Even to just call the bank and put a pause on my credit card.
Literally.
How?
Like, literally. Like, it was totally a different time. Like, so it's, and I didn't have like a really cool phone. I had like this old like little flip one with like the keyboard, you know, like, so it was a time, but
well,
it was very stressful.
I want to ask, how would you define your sound? What would you say are characters that you're driven to voicing more than others?
I'll play anybody. I'll be a dog in the street. Like, I don't mind. I love playing, this says nothing for my personality. I love playing psychopaths. So, like, characters with really, like, big emotional swings, or, like, you know, like the yandere type. I just think that's so much fun because you get, like, just huge, huge ranges out of it. But I think my natural voice is probably just, you know, described as, like, you know, feminine with some texture. Like, that's how I would describe it. Like, I don't know what other people think, but that's just like, that seems right.
I hear that a lot from voice actors, that they enjoy playing villains more than heroes. What is it about playing a villain that is more appealing?
A lot of times for hero characters, again, depending on the series and stuff, there are a lot of wonderful like projects that kind of go against this grain. But a lot of times the hero is like almost like a self-insert, or like somebody that like the viewer is supposed to like project themselves onto. So you can't really like, unless they have like a very like, you know, specific personality, you can't really imbue that much more than what's already there.
Yeah.
Whereas with a villain, you're like, no, I'm like an evil dommy mommy, and we're going all in, you know?
I love that dommy mommy. That's hilarious.
It's fine.
So, you know, you're known for a lot of things, you know, Genshin Impact, Komi Can't Communicate, Five Nights at Freddy's, Help Wanted. I wanted to know, are there any roles that you've voiced or projects that you got to be a part of that either not a lot of people know about or just are dear to your heart?
Yeah, some of my favorites that, like, I do get people come up to me about it, but not as many. I think one of my favorite things I've gotten to do is voice a character named Cathali, and the full title is, "What are you doing at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you help us?"
Wow.
So a lot of times it gets truncated to World End. But it's this really beautiful story with like this wonderful fantasy world building and music. And like from the beginning of it, like, you know, the end. And it's just like, oh, I got like goosebumpies. It's sad, yo. Like, it's sad though.
Ooh.
Like, yeah. So it's very sad, but it's I play the lead female in it, and that was really wonderful. Alexis Tipton directed the show.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah, and Micah Solisot is the lead male. It's just a great show. And then a couple other of my favorites is Love Tyrant, which is like a comedy anime. I play the yandere in it, so that was really, really fun. For those of you who aren't familiar with Love Tyrant, it's like a parody on Death Note. So
get out of here.
Yeah, so there is
Love
a Shinigami.
Tyrant?
Yeah, Love Tyrant. There is a Shinigami who has a love note, and whatever names you write in there, like you create a couple, right? So this is within like the first episode, and basically if she writes your name in but doesn't finish the coupling, you'll die within 24 hours.
Wow.
So she writes the main guy's name in, which is Seiji, and then he's like, oh my God, you're gonna die if we don't like put somebody else's name here. So they put my character's name in there. Little do they know she's a yandere who's been obsessed with him the entire time. And when you're coupled in the book, you're also like immortal, so she's constantly trying to kill him and like just being violent and stabbing him and everything. And
that's hilarious.
It's really good. It's really good. Highly recommend. Jade Saxon's in it. She plays a Shinigami jury. She's also here at this con.
True story.
Yeah, and then Austin Tyndall plays the lead male in it, and it's just really, really fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I love great like parodies and stuff
like that.
It's so
good. I was like, I'm like, get out. I love Death Note growing up, and like it's just so funny and like very wholesome.
Very cool. And where can people watch this?
Anywhere? I think just on Crunchyroll's streaming site. Yeah, I think both of them are there.
So now, obviously, you're a very accomplished voice actress. You have over 400 credits. Did you grow up watching anime and also reading manga?
Oh, absolutely.
So what were some of your favorite growing up?
Well, when I was growing up, like I didn't know it was anime at the time, and it's crazy. I'm like, this ages me now, but like I grew up like I'd come home from school and like watch like Sailor Moon, Gundam Wing, Dragon Ball Z,
yes,
like the whole gamut. And then the first anime that I knew was an anime was Inuyasha, and I got really big into Inuyasha. But of course, like I loved Cowboy Bebop, like Naruto, like just like all of it.
Wow. Okay, so you've been a long time anime fan. That's really cool that not only you get to be a fan of it, but you get to be in it. Do you ever think about how like surreal that is?
Dude, yeah, all the time. It's so cool because like you know, like I was too young to be in Naruto because I was coming home from like, you know, school and watching it, but I'm in Boruto now. Like I voice Delta in Boruto. You know, like Bleach, I play a small character in like is it Blood War? Like the most recent Bleach season. I got to play like a little character. I'm like, this is so cool. Like still like getting to like sneak in. For the new Inuyasha season, I got to play a villain in it. So I was like, I can't believe I get to be in Inuyasha as like a weird snake woman demon. So
no, that is cool, and it's almost like a life moment.
No,
you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like coming full circle, accomplishing your dreams, and then being in a project that you were initially a fan of. That's so cool.
Yeah, for anime and like also for games, because like again, I grew up playing all of the fighting games, and like, you know, like I'm a creative character voice in Street Fighter, and
Are you really?
Yes, I'm one of the female voices for the creative character. So I get to go in, I get to scream like Shoryuken and like all that stuff, and then like if you pick me, you can have me fight for you and stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And does mom play it?
I don't know if mom plays that one, but every now and then she'll text me like, "Are you in this one?" I'm like, "Not that one, but that'd be cool if I was."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, "It's fine."
And you know what? We're due for a Tomb Raider remake.
Dude, it would be so cool.
We need to make that happen.
I mean, honestly, they're gonna hire a British actress, as they should, but I would just want to play it, so that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so in that regard, let me ask you about this. Let's talk about like dialects and things like that. Is that something that you also can do, or if you don't, something that you want to study and become more proficient in?
Yeah, so accents are something that I really, really struggle with, just like singing. So I put a lot of time into it. So I thankfully have like a really solid RP British accent that does get me cast. But for something like a Tomb Raider where Laura is like actual British, they're gonna get like somebody local for that probably, but
because they'll probably want to like pinpoint it down like to a specific neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone has a very different and distinct dialect.
So but I am in the Dune Awakening as like a little NPC side character. I got to do my RP British accent, and it was so much fun.
Nice.
So it was really cool. And then like I've got a couple others. Like I get cast for like U.S. Southern, like Texas a lot. I do some, you know, like Appalachian stuff every now and then. But I am so bad with French, and I need to find a coach to help me with French. So when we were doing Furina, and I had to say all these French names, I am so sorry, oui baguette.
Yes.
You know.
I had to do a show. It's originally a French cartoon. It's called Whack Fu. I took over for the voice of Master Joris for season 4.
Awesome.
But it's originally a French cartoon, and that was another thing that I struggled with, is trying to find the right nuance to the character, but then also try to voice match the original character at the same time, and then bring my own style into it. It was so multi-layered.
Yes, it's so hard.
But we got it done. How do you deal with things like that?
I just do my best.
Just do your best.
I just show up doing my best.
How much does a good director have to do with helping you bring out your best performance?
Oh, I would say like, you know, like having I've worked with some absolutely phenomenal directors. I've also worked with some terrible directors. And what I mean by terrible is like I think the worst thing a director can do is, 1, make you uncomfortable, and 2, try to get you to say exactly what is in their brain. Like verbatim,
right? Because they have the line read the way they want it already.
Yes, and I think a good director makes you comfortable in the booth, and then they work with you to bring out your version of the character within the context of the script. So it might not sound one-to-one for what they have in their brain, but it still works.
Yeah,
and it fits. And I think that's what a good director does.
You're a director also, yes?
Yes, yeah.
So let me ask you this: do you have a better insight on that just because you are also a director?
I would say yes. Like I think there are times where like I've had some like sessions where like I'm going and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do like my first take, and then a director will come and be like, wrong, and I'm like, it's gonna be one of those days. So I've gotten better, like, you know, because I have that experience like directing and stuff. Like I don't take it personally, but I'm just like, this isn't gonna be as fun as it could be today. Like, you know.
But do you find a hard time not trying to balance it, but like having to okay, they're the director, they're in the driver's seat today.
Yeah.
Let me take off my director's hat and
I'm
let them have control.
I would say, like, for me, like, I feel really, really good about, like, I leave all that at the door. Like, I'm here for them.
Right.
So I'm showing up, and I will, if they say jump, I'll be like, okay, how high? Like, unless it's gonna hurt me, like, advocating for yourself.
Of
again.
course, yeah.
But no, I'm just there, and like, if it's the kind of environment where, like, it's comfortable and we're kind of playing off each other, and they welcome ideas, then I'll be like, oh, what if we, like, could I improv here or add this? But if it's like, and again, it's like feeling out the vibes. But if it's like that kind of director who's like, no, wrong, I'm like, I'm a vessel today. And, you have to be ready to, like, work with both. But, yeah.
Have you had any particular shows that you've worked on or just any sessions in general that you can think of that were really, really weighing on your voice and your talent? You just had to, like, take a break. Have you ever had a crazy session like that?
Thankfully, I would say everybody in recent memory has been very good about, like, we take a break at the top of the hour. If we're doing, like, a blood-curdling scream, they'll save it for, like, the last thing for the session.
Yeah.
But
and do you ever get to, like, say, like, I'd like to save that
Yeah.
part
Sometimes I'll be
end.
like, hey, can we, especially if they're having me voice, like, 3 characters, and it's, like, a little boy or a little girl and, like, an adult and then, like, a monster. I'm like, can we do the little girl first and save the monster for last?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to be so textured up. This is not going to sound like a child anymore.
Yeah.
But what is so weird, I think it was last year, I was doing this game, and it was a situation, it was my first time working at the studio, and the engineer was the director, but they were new, and they were working with a client overseas, and they were still new to using voice talent. So I was just like an arena game announcer, so, just like double kill and, like, stuff like that.
KO!
Yeah, like
all that stuff,
normal, so I'm like, this is gonna be just a normal session, right? I blew myself out on this session because they were having me do, like, 10 plus takes of, like, no, louder, scream it. I'm like, why are we screaming double kill? Like, so I finished the session, and I told my agent after, I'm like, hey, they, like, blew me out on this. Like, I did my best to be like, like, but they wanted me back, and I was like, hey, can you like let them know? So, like, they limited it to an hour. They apologized. It was a circumstance of, like, newer people, newer client, and then, like,
right, and also just them still trying to learn the lay of the land and figure out how things work.
And exactly. And I think what was happening, because it made no sense, right? Like, why am I, like, screaming? Like, I mean, screaming, like Borderlands screaming these lines.
Yeah.
I think the feed to the remote client wasn't turned up enough, so I sounded really far away.
Wow.
And so I just blew myself out, like, over, like, a technical
thing.
Yeah,
like, just turn up your volume.
And I'm just like, oh, what do you mean? So,
it's always interesting when you're working with the director, but then you also have live the client because they're not there, so I feel like they have a little more gall to kind of, like, say things to you to kind of get. But it's like it's funny because the director's always like.
Or the director will, like, protect you and like
exactly.
And, like,
yes.
But if you have somebody newer who doesn't know how to do that, like, it can be like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, the director talent relationship is very important. Now, how do you cultivate this as a director? How do you make sure that your talent? I mean, obviously, you've lived the life, so you get it.
Absolutely, yeah. I do my best to, like, thankfully, I can get on the same page as the client pretty quickly and be like, okay, what are we looking for? Like, what do we want? And, like, directing the actor in a way where we're saving all the vocally taxing stuff for last and everything. But sometimes you do have very difficult clients, and then it is my job. I don't like doing this, but I will do it, is to be Mama Bear.
Oh, yeah.
And when Mama Bear has to come out, like, it's, like, just very firm and, like, but it's a thing. I was directing a small game for another studio, because I do a lot of contract stuff too, in addition to my own. It was nothing crazy. We were, like, just doing, we're doing, like, this game, and the actress we had in was, like, really, like really amazing talent, like, like, just not concerned with her at all. There was, like, a miscommunication from the studio. So, like, the client thought she was going to be in studio, even though the client's remote, and she was recording from her home studio, which, again, like, I've worked with her many times. Her home studio is, like, perfectly vetted. There's nothing wrong with it. But because of that miscommunication, she gets on the line, and we do a couple takes, and I think it's, like, not even, like, the third line. She stumbles once, which very normal for people to stumble.
Happens
it happens
all the time.
this client like gets on the button. She's like, excuse me, are you even ready for the session? Are you ready for the session? Because are you in like a professional environment? And just like was like coming at her. And I had to be like, hey, we're not like, you know, like, and I had to like, you know, intervene and like protect my actor and be like, hey, you know, like you know, it's very normal. Like, did you not like that? We can get another take. Did you not like that last take? And like having to like firmly redirect. Well, this guy did not like me, like, you know, preventing him from like verbally abusing my talent. So like the studio was like, hey, the client's demanding that you be in studio tomorrow, even though the client's not there in studio.
Right.
Just wanted to like control the environment.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I've been in a situation like that, and I was
Yeah.
so grateful that the
Yeah.
director stood up for me because again, we had a client, they weren't there in
Yes.
the room, and they're like,
Yeah.
same scenario.
Yeah.
They're like, did you even read up on the material beforehand? Are you
God.
ready to
It's
go?
horrible.
Did you read? Let's read over the notes together. And I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh.
I've been reading this for 3 days. I know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
but I didn't have to say any of that. Luckily, the director
Right.
stepped in and said,
Yes.
all of our talent has had this stuff for X,
Yes.
Y, and Z, and it was like it felt really refreshing to know that they were there for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Mama Bear has to come
Mama
out
Bear
sometimes.
has to come out
Don't mess with
sometimes.
Mama Bear.
No, literally, like, don't do it. And, like, and the thing is, like you said, like, having the director there, like, you know, can, like, turn, like, if they're, like, on your side about it, they can, like, turn it and you know, and, like, kind of, like, get the session moving again. But all that does is, like, that kind of environment now just makes the actor self-conscious. It makes the actor not be able to put out their best because now they're fear, like, being afraid of being judged. And if their performance is going to be good enough, they're in their head about it. And it was like, you just, like, there's no reason for this. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it
But
is.
yeah.
It is crazy, but it's like you said, it's a control thing.
It is, yes.
But they need to understand like the reason why you booked this talent and you booked this
Yeah.
studio to do this thing because you trusted us.
Totally.
So let us do our thing.
Yes.
You know,
Little
Get
bugs.
outta here.
Little bugs.
we got a couple minutes here left. I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you before we go, what upcoming projects can you speak about that you have coming up that we can look forward to?
This is a great question. Oh, if anybody is playing Digimon Time Stranger, I play Yuki Kanen, who is the female. If you pick the female character, you play as me. If you pick the male character, I'm your buddy, and I talk to you the whole game. So it depends which one you do. But that was really, really cool. I have some stuff that I cannot talk about coming up, but I'm very excited about. So when I am allowed to, I will post about it. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know this has been brief,
Yeah.
but you're here the whole weekend.
Yes.
People can go on down to your table, say hi, ask your question there. So please, everybody, big round of applause for Amber Lee Connors. Thank you so much for being here this weekend.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the
Absolutely.
great panel. Thank you, guys. Yay.
Alrighty then. Thank you, everyone, and please enjoy the rest of your time here. And please go visit Amber down at her table. Thanks, everybody.